In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college basketball games happening on February 22, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best bet single picks, best bet parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Kentucky versus Florida. 2 Southeastern Conference teams will clash when the Florida Gators play host to the Kentucky Wildcats Wednesday night. Kentucky finds itself on the bubble in terms of making the tournament, and a win here would help solidify its dancing dreams. Florida is grasping onto their final hopes of making the tournament with just 4 regular season games remaining. Kentucky has won the last 3 between these two, including a 5-point win at home in their last contest. Florida enters this game without their best player, Colin Castleton. His absence was evident against Arkansas, and I expect Kentucky to also take advantage here, particularly on the glass. Kentucky sits atop the Southeastern Conference in both offensive rebound rate and opponent offensive rebound rate. We should expect to see Kentucky with multiple second-chance scoring tries here and limit those chances to Florida. Kentucky also ranks 13th in field goal attempt rate compared to the Florida defense, which ranks 313th. The Wildcats have held opponents to 6 3-pointers or fewer in 8 straight games and will simply make points hard to come by for Florida at home. Kentucky's defense stepped up in the last game, and Florida is going to struggle again in this game to score. Florida gave up 84 points in the last game, and their defense is going to really struggle to slow down Kentucky. Kentucky is averaging 74 points, and they will find success again scoring here. So the Kentucky Wildcats to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Gators like to push the tempo and currently sit top 100 in terms of pace of play. Not only should we see a determined pace here, but the Gators have taken great care of the ball in conference play, and we've already highlighted the top 15 field goal attempt rate of the Wildcats. We haven't seen either of these defenses force a high rate of steals, which will allow for high shot volume. Kentucky has struggled down low defensively, and that has been an area of attack for the Gators. Florida, meanwhile, has lapsed on the glass defensively, and the Wildcats have executed offensive rebounds at a very high rate here. Expect to see points in a 1st to 75 win style of game here. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Alabama versus South Carolina. Alabama looks to solidify themselves as the top team in the Southeastern Conference on Wednesday, February 22nd. The Crimson Tide are coming off of a blowout win against Georgia over the weekend. South Carolina has found a little spark as they have won 2 of their last 3 as the Gamecocks look to avoid the basement of the conference. The Crimson Tide are 11-4 against the spread in their last 15 games overall. The Gamecocks are 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 home games and 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games overall. The under is 7-3 in Crimson Tide last 10 overall. The over is 10-4 in Gamecocks last 14 overall. The underdog is 10-4-1 against the spread in the last 15 meetings. South Carolina is fighting its way through a disastrous season, and it won't get any better on Wednesday. Alabama is tracking toward a number 1 seed in the Big Dance, but they have not quite yet locked up the Southeastern Conference. That seems headed for a showdown at Texas Agricultural and Mechanical on the final day of the season. With Arkansas and Auburn next up, the Tide cannot get caught looking ahead here. I don't know what to say about the drama surrounding Brandon Miller or the poor handling of the situation by Nate Oates. I assume both will be present on Wednesday night, but you have to think that the team focus might be less than sharp under the circumstances. This game is a mismatch. Alabama is in the top 15 of both offensive and defensive rankings per Ken Palm, while Carolina is outside the top 200 in both. But it doesn't have to be a blowout. South Carolina might capitalize on home court advantage to be competitive here, and if Alabama is off by a beat under the circumstances, it might be enough to keep this game closer than expected. South Carolina has not been beaten badly since their January 25th loss at Florida. They are only 2-5 over their last 7, but they have been decently competitive. The Alabama Crimson Tide are obviously the better team and have the horses to blow the doors off here. However, South Carolina has shown an improved effort as of late, and you know the crowd will be out in full forced for this one. Also, there are more distractions with Alabama given the info that came out yesterday and what coach said. So the South Carolina Gamecocks to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. This game will be battle of low-scoring teams. The Gamecocks will be able to keep it low-scoring enough to stay in the game, and that is the only way they can if they want to win or at least cover. A high-scoring game and South Carolina doesn't have a chance. Expect a game in the 60s on Wednesday night. The under is 6-0 in the Crimson Tide's last 6 games following an against the spread win. The under is 9-4 in the Gamecocks' last 13 home games. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Iowa versus Wisconsin. The Iowa Hawkeyes travel to Wisconsin to take on the Badgers in a critical Big Ten matchup that should have NCAA tournament implications. Iowa is 17-10 on the season and 9-7 in Big Ten play thus far. Meanwhile, Wisconsin comes into this game with a record of 15-11 overall and just 7-9 in the conference. Wisconsin took the first game back in December thanks to 50% shooting from the field and a 78-75 victory on the road. The game was tied at halftime before the Badgers defense clamped down on Iowa in the second half. This game is critical for both teams' tournament hopes and will likely come down to Wisconsin's ability to get stops against the potent Iowa offense. The Hawkeyes have been mixed bag over this 5-3 stretch, but they've taken out some pretty tough teams in that time, including Northwestern, Illinois, and Rutgers. These teams last met up way back on December 11th at Carver Hawkeye Arena in a 78-75 overtime road win for Wisconsin. The Badgers are a sketchy 2-3 in their last 5 games, and they've failed to hit 65 points in 4 of those games. A decent offensive performance and 70 points or so from Iowa will probably do it here. Iowa has won 4 out of the last 6 meetings between these two teams and should dominate the glass in this matchup. I believe that the Hawkeyes will pull it off, so the Iowa Hawkeyes to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Wisconsin is just 5-8 to the over at home this season, while the high-scoring Hawkeyes are just 4-5 to the over on the road. Additionally, Wisconsin has played the under in 5 out of 7 games. The Badgers have also gone to the under in 5 straight home games. The pace of play will be a big factor in this one, and the Badgers prefer a snail's pace, ranking 351st in the country in pace of play. Wisconsin is going to drag down the pace in this game, and that is going to continue to be the case again in this game. In the last game, Iowa only managed 60 points, and they are going to struggle to get to that number here. Neither team is going to reach 60 points. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.